These protests have been happening all across our region and across the country today. Along with the gathering at the state capitol, we also saw this. You know what that is? This is protesters that took to the streets of downtown Sacramento right onto the Tower Bridge. They were marching across Sacramento's iconic Tower Bridge. Along with Sacramento, we also saw demonstrations in Roseville, Folsom, and Elk Grove. We also saw these protests all across California. This is a look at the ones we saw in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose, San Diego, Long Beach, and Santa Monica. KCRA 3's Aaron Heft brings us into the crowds that covered the California state capitol.
Countless faces among the growing crowd raising their voices, bringing their messages to the west steps of the California state capitol.
My hope is that we have to show that the majority of Americans oppose what Trump is doing and support due process and the rule of law.
This one of approximately 2,000 rallies across the United States protesting the Trump administration, countering the president's military parade and current policies, and he said they disagree with.
Mostly we're fighting immigration policies. We're letting America know we will not stand by this. This is unacceptable behavior from the president of the United States, someone that should be representing everyone in America, and he just doesn't, and he chooses to be unkind.
He's breaking the laws, he's defying the Constitution, so it's important. I mean, my husband is a veteran, my kids are also serving in the military, and him deploying the troops over the weekend was really outrageous as far as I'm concerned.
This among other large groupings framed under the slogan, "No Kings."
No Kings! No Kings! No Kings!
I just want to protest the recent actions, especially with ICE and Los Angeles and the National Guard. And I just, I don't think it's right.
It's just degrading people, degrading the nation, and I don't agree with any of his policies.
We're paying attention and we care about what's happening in this country, and we're not going to just lay down and take it,
The large group breaking out into chants, echoing their plight for change to what they're seeing unfold across the nation. At the California State Capitol, Aaron Heft, KCRA 3 News.
More than 1,000 people showed up for the No Kings event in Roseville. Protesters lined both sides of Galleria Boulevard near Roseville Parkway. Copter 3 flew over that scene of the loud but peaceful gathering.
I find people to be polite, respectful, inclusive, and the overall vibe is just, we're in it together.
As soon as I walked out of the parking lot, I saw a veteran in a wheelchair, and he said, "This is what democracy looks like." And I immediately got a lump in my throat. I thought, oh my God, this is so inspiring.
Protesters waved American flags and carried signs protesting the Trump administration, the ICE raids happening nationwide, and the military parade being held in Washington, D.C. We'll have much more on that parade coming up later in our newscast. Copter 3 also over the protest in Folsom today. We saw people holding signs and marching along East Bidwell Street. There was also a No King sign displayed on the overpass over Highway 50. In San Francisco now, thousands of protesters gathered for a march to the Civic Center. Sarah McGrew shares the sights and sounds of No King's Day from the city by the Bay.
I'm in Dolores Park, where San Francisco's No King's Day March is about to start. Hundreds of people had started to gather around 11 a.m., including Rebecca Foster, dressed in Handmaid's Tale attire.
I think that resistance has power, and the people have power, and despite the violence and the constant threats that we're under, that I think that we have a chance to actually make a difference.
When the march started around noon, thousands flooded down Dolores Street towards Market Street. As protesters make their way to Civic Center, there's been lots of chants in both English and Spanish, a lot of signs, of course, along that No Kings theme. One that I've been seeing a lot of is Yes, Queen, No Kings. There's tons, thousands of people out here in San Francisco. If you take a look, we're walking down Market Street right now.
I mean, the reason I'm out here is because community means so much to me.
In addition to showing opposition to President Donald Trump, many spoke out against the ICE raids we've seen in California and across the country.
It means your fight is my fight. I'm born and raised here, but a child of an immigrant, and I'm here to support everyone else who's
going through a really hard time seeing this.
Thousands of protesters ending their march here at San Francisco's City Hall. Overall, this protest, very peaceful. People I talked to really focused on that community aspect, that they were here to support their neighbors, to support their community. Reporting in San Francisco, Sarah McGrew, KCRA 3 News.
Sarah, thank you. That was a look in Northern California. We want to show you what's happening in Southern California right now. In Los Angeles, city leaders are working to manage dual protests. This is a live picture right now. You can see law enforcement. It looks like they're deploying tear gas right now. You can see them moving forward. I see a man with a scooter backing up very quickly right now. This is the scene right now. This was, of course, first they had the immigration demonstrations that have been going on for a week now, but you also have on top of that tens of thousands of people gathering downtown for the No King's Day protest. So the city of Los Angeles is now dealing with two protests at once. We can see, yeah, that gas being deployed out there right now. This is the scene right now. You see those flashes. It looks like they're deploying numerous things out there right now. We're going to try to work to get more information on what exactly is happening right there in Los Angeles. But yeah, this is downtown right now, and this is what we're seeing because of those dual protests. Now, this is the No Kings protest where this is happening right now. So it seems things are a bit more chaotic in Los Angeles than what we've seen in some of our other pictures we've seen. We just showed you San Francisco. Well, it does not appear to be as peaceful as what we saw here, even in Sacramento, right? So again, this is what we're looking at right now in Los Angeles. This is a live picture. This is happening at this moment. We're seeing a lot of crowds out there, and what appears to be law enforcement. They were moving forward at one point, but Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass was urging everyone to protest peacefully and emphasizing that vandalism or destruction of property will not be allowed. Take a listen.
And as people march today, my call is please, please do not give the administration an excuse to intervene. Let's make sure we show the world the best of Los Angeles and our country. Let's stand in contrast to the provocation, escalation, and violence. Let me be clear, although the president has said that LA needs to be liberated, what LA really needs is to be liberated from raids on taco stands, Home Depot parking lots, and near schools.
And this is video from earlier today. The city and county regional emergency operations center is up and running right now. The mayor says it's an additional challenge to be working without collaboration of the military presence in the town. And we'll give you some updates on what we're seeing in Los Angeles later on in our newscast. I want to show you this as well. This is a picture that shows just, we say across the country, right? Well, this shows you that exactly. This is a look at where organizers say they had planned more than 2,000 demonstrations today. Of course, there's no way to know how many of these actually happened or drew large crowds, but this just shows how widespread the No Kings protests could be.